Hey guys, Travis here on day 5 of the World Championship group stages at the LA studio, joined by Meteos of Cloud9. Meteos, you don't even play for like 4 days. What are you doing here?
Just hanging out.
Yeah. Hanging out, checking it out. Are you looking at all the plays that these guys are making and maybe getting a little nervous?
No, I'm not really getting nervous.
Are you trying to take anything away from the games that you guys have seen so far?
Yeah, a little bit. When I watch the game, I sort of look for certain things and try to look at how teams play, but I don't want to go into what I'm looking for.
Okay. Have you noticed any patterns between any of the regions so that you can? I know obviously right now you don't know who you're going to play, but can you maybe look at a certain region and be like, okay, this is how Koreans play, or this is how Chinese teams play, or do they all sort of play differently?
I think there are small differences between the regions, but overall they play the same sort of game. I think the Chinese are kind of the unexpected region so far. They've been playing really, really well. We scrimmed a Royal, and watching OMG play, they just put insane pressure on the map, and they really know how to push an advantage. So I think the Chinese teams are probably the ones to watch for the most.
Okay, so you think right now maybe the Chinese teams are the strongest?
It does seem that way.
Interesting. What else have you guys been doing? I mean, obviously you guys have the bye, so you don't have to worry about this group stuff. So what have you been doing in the meantime? You said you've been streaming Royal, but anything else?
We've scrimmed a few international teams. We've played Fnatic, Gambit, Royal, Lemon Dogs. I feel like we played others, but I can't really remember them right now. And so we've just really been scrimming. We've been watching all the games for Worlds. Still solo queuing, obviously. Pretty much just doing anything we can to prepare for when you have to play.
So these games that your team are having against the international teams, these scrims, these are some of the first games that you guys have had against the international teams. So what is that? How's that going? Because I think a lot of people are wondering how you guys will fare against international teams.
Well, scrims don't mean a whole lot. We definitely have a positive win rate against all the teams we've been playing, but that honestly doesn't mean anything. Teams don't have to try as hard as they can in scrims. Sometimes they just do it for scouting.
Right.
But it does sort of show that our playstyle holds up to the other regions and we're not significantly behind like some people seem to think we are. So I think as long as we play well in Worlds, we could definitely win it.
What are your thoughts on TSM and Vulcan's performance so far?
I'm not really sure. I guess it's their first time playing international teams too. And
I
they're
mean,
doing
TSM has, they were able to compete internationally in season 2, so
That's true.
but at least for season 3, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I was thinking about Vulcan when I answered that at first, but I think they're doing all right. Vulcan has been making a lot of mistakes. Like they've done well in the games, but they just seem to not be able to close out the games. They just have some sort of mistake that, like I said, these international teams are very good at capitalizing on mistakes, and if you give them anything, they'll just take a lot more than you intended to give them. So it's not looking likely that they'll get out of group, but maybe if they can sweep the rest of their games, they will be able to. Right. And for TSM, they're actually in a really hard group. OMG and SKT might be the two best teams in the entire thing, and they happen to get stuck in group with them. So it'd be cool if TSM got out of group, but it's going to be really hard for them too.
Right. I'm kind of curious for your position as a jungler. What are your thoughts on the other junglers that you've been seeing internationally, and also the ones that you've had a chance to scrim against? Because there's been somewhat of a discussion around your jungling compared to other regions, and people claiming that you don't jungle as aggressively as other regions or whatever, and it's going to suffer for you whenever you try to play against these guys. So just generally, what are your thoughts on your situation as a jungler against these guys and sort of how they're playing?
I haven't really had too much trouble against the international teams that we've played so far. I've played against Cyanide, Diamond Prox, Lucky, which is Royal's jungler, and I haven't really gotten super smashed by any of them like some people seem to think we will. So I definitely think our playstyle is different than a lot of teams do. I don't really go around just pure ganking lanes. I generally try to get farm as well and play efficiently, obviously. So I think it really comes down to just each individual match for how it'll go.
So you said you've been watching the games from the group stage. I know you pointed out that China seems to be the really strong region right now. What other teams are surprising you, or what teams do you think are really doing well, or any thoughts that you have on the groups that you've looked at so far?
Well, for the groups, like I said, OMG and SK teams seem like the two strongest teams in the entire thing, and they're both in Group A. Group B looks really close. I would say it's weaker than Group A overall for sure, but doesn't mean they're bad. Ozone's sort of, I feel like they haven't lived up to all the hype they got.
Right.
They've been losing a lot of games, and it looks like they're not playing as well as they could. Maybe they'll be able to get their stuff together and get out of group. Maybe they won't. I guess we'll see. And let's see what other teams are there.
You got like the Gambit, Fnatic teams in there, the Europeans.
Oh yeah, they've been doing pretty well. Fnatic's been playing actually really well in group so far, and I think, are they guaranteed to get out now?
Pretty much at this point.
Okay, yeah, so Fnatic will probably get out. And we've scrimmed them and done pretty well against them, but what I've heard from other teams is that they don't try that hard in scrims. So I don't really know how that'll go if we end up playing them. I think all the teams that we could play from groups are around the same skill level, so I'm not really super hoping for one matchup or another. Just going to play what we get.
I know you said that you thought that SKT and OMG were really strong. Do you think that SKT is stronger than Fnatic or Gambit right now?
I do think that SKT and OMG are stronger than any of the teams in Group B.
Interesting. You've been talking to Dyrus at all?
Not too much. Okay. They've been focusing really hard on trying to get a group.
I'm just making a joke because obviously in his interview he said that he thought that was okay. So anyway, we have another person coming in. So do you have any shout-outs, plugs, anything you want to say here?
Yeah, I'll give a shout-out to my sponsors. It's Law Class, Astro, Cooler Master, HyperX, iBuyPower, Crunchyroll, G Fuel, Homejoy.
That's 8 of them.
That is 8.
Do you have 8?
There's one more.
There is one more. Sneaky, do you have any idea what that one is?
It's Asus.
There we go. You've got so much on your mind right now, obviously scouting, plugging, or looking for all this stuff that I'm sure that all your wonderful sponsors, sometimes one of them just, you can't think of it on that instant as much as you appreciate them.
On Worlds. I love all my sponsors, though.
For everyone, this is Travis on day 5 of the World Final Group Stages at the LA Studio. You can check out the rest of our coverage at GameSpot.com/esports.